Do I have the best 3 player props for this weekend? Absolutely, I do. And guess what? I'm going to share them with you right now. So let's go ahead and let's get into it. And no, these are not the player props I'm going to be discussing in this video. I have much better player props. So let's go ahead and let's dive into it. We're going to be looking at Underdog Fantasy and Prize Picks. Okay, so I love both of these platforms. And the reason I like these platforms is they're very exploitable, right? So what you'll see on Prize Picks, which is the same as Underdog Fantasy, is they do not vary payouts depending on if you select the over or the under, right? You'll see right here, any 3-pick entry on Prize Picks, you're getting 20 to win 100. Doesn't matter what 3 picks you select, 20 to win 100. Overs, unders, nothing changes the payout. 3 picks is 20 to win 100. Now what's fascinating is on Underdog Fantasy, which is a Prize Picks, competitor, whatever you want to call it, it's 20 to win 120. So Underdog Fantasy offers better payouts. They offer an $100 sign-up bonus, which is why I've been focusing more of my videos about sharp sports betting on Underdog. Is they're easier to pick off because they give you much better odds, right? They don't rip you off as much as Prize Picks. Prize Picks only gives us 20 to win 100 on a 3-pick entry, whereas on Underdog, we're getting 20 to win 120, which is much better. So we've kind of gone through the math before behind Prize Picks, behind Underdog Fantasy. So there will be some videos in the end screen if you want to, nerd out for a bit and learn about the math, the strategy behind Prize Picks, Underdog Fantasy. But basically, for any 2-pick entry on Prize Picks or Underdog, you're getting plus 200 odds, which implies minus 137 odds, right? So basically, the way you can think about this is Prize Picks and Underdog, any 2-pick entry, they're giving you 20 to win 60, 20 to win 40 in profit. This is not 20 to win 60 in profit. It's 20 to win 40 in profit, plus 200 odds, right? So it's the same on Underdog Fantasy. That's minus 137 implied juice, right? And the way you can think about this is if you have a parlay where both legs are minus 137, your parlay comes out to roughly plus 200 odds. So because on Prize Picks, any 2-pick entry is plus 200, they're giving you the implied price of minus 137. So what does that mean for you? What that means for you is when you're placing a 2-pick entry on Prize Picks, you should assume the odds you're getting on both legs, on all of your legs, is minus 137 when you're thinking about if you like the bet or not, right? It's not plus 100. It's not minus 110 juice. It's minus 137, which is a lot of juice if you think about it. Now, what's amazing about Underdog Fantasy is because they offer such advantageous odds on a 3-pick entry at plus 500, the implied juice for a 3-pick entry is only minus 122, whereas on Prize Picks, it's minus 141, which is significantly worse, right? We're getting minus 122 juice on Underdog Fantasy on a 3-pick entry. So what I've been able to find is a bunch of great picks that I'm going to roll with on Underdog Fantasy. And the first one is Patrick Mahomes under 2.5 passing TDs. So let's go ahead, let's load it up right here. And let's get rid of these bad boys. Patrick Mahomes under 2.5 passing TDs. You can see right here, why do we like it? Every sportsbook has the under heavily favored, right? DraftKings has the under favored. Caesars has the under favored at minus 145. And Pinnacle, which is the sharpest sportsbook, they're pricing this at minus 165. So sportsbooks imply, win probabilities through their odds. And we're always looking for value as a sharp bettor. So being able to get minus 122 on Underdog, which is a positive EV, bet from OddsJam, is pretty ridiculous value. So this is the first play I'm going with. And again, like on Underdog, we much prefer 3-pick entries compared to 2-pick entries. 2-pick entries on both Prize Picks and Underdog is minus 137 implied juice. So any bet you include in your Underdog entry or Prize Picks entry with 2 picks, you should assume you're getting minus 137 odds, because that's what the math works out to, right? It's just a fact. It's literally a fact. Any pick you're putting on Underdog or Prize Picks in a 2-pick entry, you're getting minus 137 odds. Doesn't matter anything else. So for a 3-pick entry, though, on Prize Picks, you're getting minus 141, which is terrible. On Underdog, you're getting minus 122. So you're getting half the juice of Prize Picks. So you should basically never place a 3-pick power play on Prize Picks, right? You should be placing that on Underdog Fantasy, or you should be placing a 4-pick entry on Prize Picks because the implied juice is minus 128. Much better, right? But 3-pick entries on Prize Picks or on Underdog Fantasy are best, right? Those are optimal. Underdog Fantasy offers much better prices. And again, what this positive EV tool shows for you is I just select Underdog Fantasy 5-pick minus 122, right? And it's the same 5-pick, 3-pick. Is the reason I select this is I just want to see bets on the positive EV tool, which are profitable, right, for my 3-pick or 5-pick entry. So we can see right here, there's only 2 picks. Amari Cooper under 4.5 receptions and Patrick Mahomes under 2.5 passing TDs. Both are mathematically profitable. So I'm going to go with both of these. And you can see right here, right, all the sportsbooks have the under for Amari Cooper heavily juiced. Pinnacle, the sharpest sportsbook, has this at minus 163. Sharpest sportsbook in the world has Amari Cooper under 4.5 receptions at minus 163 odds. So if we put that into a parlay calculator, and then we also select Patrick Mahomes under 2.5 passing TDs, Pinnacle has this minus 165. So we're getting ridiculous value on Underdog. What you'll notice is this parlay on Pinnacle. If we were to parlay on Pinnacle, Patrick Mahomes under 2.5 passing TDs and Amari Cooper under 4.5 receptions, we would be getting plus 159 odds, right? On Underdog Fantasy, what you'll notice is, hey, we're getting plus 200 odds, 20 to win 40 in profit, plus 200 odds. We're only getting on the sharpest sportsbook plus 159. So we're getting a ton of value to the odds on Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker, right? Which is exactly what we're looking for. And it's just rational, right? This is just rational sports betting. When every bookmaker is pricing something at minus 145, minus 165, and we can get that under in our Underdog or Prize Picks entry, it's just clear value, right? Underdog doesn't vary your payouts depending on if we select the over or the under. You'll see here, 20 to win 60, right? So we definitely want to go with the unders because all of the sports books have the unders heavily juiced because the under is a lot more likely to hit. Amari Cooper on Thursday Night Football is a lot more likely to go under 4.5 receptions than over 4.5, which is why all the bookmakers are giving you plus money on Amari Cooper over 4.5 receptions, right? So we definitely want to go with the under for Amari Cooper and the under for Mahomes. Fading 2 good players, sure, but the value's there. And the value is clear. Just looking at the betting market. No BS, just data. Look at the market. Minus 145, minus 145, minus 165. Yeah, we definitely want to take the under on Underdog and definitely not the over. Taking the over is a disaster, right? You're betting Mahomes over 2.5 passing TDs at minus 122 odds on Underdog when you could literally go to Pinnacle and bet this plus 124. 46 cents better. So don't do that. Don't take Patrick Mahomes over 2.5 passing TDs. That's a disaster, right? And even if it hits, even if Mahomes throws for 5 TDs and you think you're a genius because you had this in your underdog entry, you're foolish, because you could have had this plus 124, right? You were betting this minus 122, betting $122 to win back 100, when you could have bet $122 to win like 165 in profit if you were betting on Pinnacle at plus 124. So you're foolish because you got ripped off. You got a terrible price. So it's like selling your house and thinking you're a genius for selling your house when you sold it for half the price it should have been sold. You're just getting ripped off. Get good prices. That's how you make money. That's how the sharps do it, the pros do it. So these are my first 2 picks in my entry. Next pick I have is from the OddsJam middle tool. You'll see that the sports books have Dalvin Cook's rushing attempts line for Sunday at over under 17.5. Underdog Fantasy just casually chilling at 18. Right? The sports books have the under heavily juiced, both DraftKings and Caesars, so I hit the under. So here's my entry right here. If we go to, well, let's just hit it again. We might as well hit it again, because why not? Let's see if they take some more action on this bad boy. So it says I've hit my limit. Let's see if it lets me bet a little less. Okay, I guess I've hit my limit, but here's what I got. 3 picks, Mahomes under, Dalvin under, 500 to win $3,000, Amari Cooper under 4.5 receptions, Dalvin Cook under 18 rushing attempts, Patrick Mahomes under 2.5 passing TDs. Let's make money.